Hey guys, so today we're going to be working on dividing decimals by whole numbers. And while that sounds like kind of an intimidating topic, it's actually not that bad. Really, I'm going to try to simplify it as much as I can so it's really no different than you guys doing any kind of division problem, whether you use partial quotients or you guys use the old lady long division method. So as you can see here, I've broken this whole process down into 3 steps. And these steps should look pretty familiar because these are the same general steps that we used when we multiplied decimals. So step number 1, we're making an estimate. And then step number 2, we're dividing as if the dividend were a whole number. So we're ignoring that decimal point as we're doing our math calculations. And then in step number 3, we're using our estimate to place that decimal point in our answer to get the actual answer to the division problem that has the decimals in it. So let's look at this example that I have here, and we're going to take it through the 3 steps to look at how we would solve a problem like this when we're dividing decimals. So the example I have here, 4 siblings bought their parents an anniversary gift that cost $84.12, including tax. If they split the cost equally, how much did each sibling pay? So step number 1 tells us to make an estimate. So the first thing we need to do is we need to decide what our number model for this division problem is even going to look like. And remember, we've got the total that we have and how many splits we're making. So our total is $84.12, and we're dividing that by the 4 siblings. So our number model for the whole problem will actually be $84.12 divided by 4. And that's going to be our number model, like I said, for the whole thing. So if I'm looking to turn that into an estimate then, an estimate for that would be, and I just want to do easily computable math facts. So I would make this estimate $80 divided by 4 siblings equals 20. So that means that each sibling paid about $20 for their parents' gift. So that's step 1. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and I've cleaned up my screen a little bit here. I've rewritten my number model and I've rewritten my estimate. And then I've went ahead and I started step number 2. And step number 2 said divide as if the dividend is a whole number. So we're going to take that $84.12 and we're going to change that to 8,412. And then we're going to divide that by 4. It doesn't matter to me which method of division you use. I know that a lot of you are comfortable using the partial product method, so that's the way I'm going to show my examples. But if you are also somebody that is comfortable with the traditional method, what I call the old lady way, and you want to do that, you guys are welcome to do that method as well. Okay, so here is our work when we did 8,412 divided by 4. We got 2,103 remainder 0. So we have, get my pen here, we have 2103. Okay, and I've also brought over our estimate, which was $20. So we need to place our decimal point now in this 2103 to make our answer as close as possible to our estimate of 20. So there's 5 different places that we have the option of placing our decimal in this one. We can place it in front of the 2, behind the 2, behind the 1, behind the 0, or behind the 3. But in this case, it would make the most sense. We would be closest to 20 if we would place our decimal point right here between the 20 or the 1 and the 0. So that would mean that each sibling paid $21.03 towards their parents' anniversary gift. Remember, that had a total of $84.12. So there's our first example for dividing decimals by whole numbers. Okay, so example number 2. Sophie had 6 42/100 meters of ribbon that she cut into 3 equal length pieces. How long was each piece? So we need to write a number model so we're able to write an estimate. So my number model for this one, we have a total of 6 and 42 hundredths meters of string, and we are dividing that into 3 pieces. So there's my number model. Now I need to take that number model and I need to make an estimate. And this one's pretty simple to make an estimate. I'm going to do 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So each piece of ribbon was about 2 meters long. So now I have to set up my problem like the decimal point isn't there. So I'm going to ignore the decimal point, and 6.42 meters is going to become 642, and I am going to divide that by 3. Again, I don't care what method you use. You can use partial quotient division. You can use the old lady method. Whatever you need to do to get the correct answer to 642 divided by 3. Okay, so I went ahead and I did some partial quotient division here, and I got an answer of 214. Now, the last step in this is placing my decimal point in the answer 214 to find out the actual length of each piece of ribbon that Sophie cut. Now, remember that our estimate was 2, so I have to place my decimal point in my answer so that my overall answer is as close as possible to 2. And in order to make this as close as possible to 2, I'm going to place it right here between the 2 and the 1. So each piece of ribbon was 2 and 14 hundredths meters long. So now that you guys have watched me do 2 examples, there's going to be a PDF in the module that's going to have 4 different problems. And I want you guys to download that PDF into Notability or take a screenshot, write the problems down, however you can work the problems alongside with me. I'm going to have you guys do those problems along with me for some practice on this skill, and then there'll be an activity for you to do afterwards.